Hey, gang. Queens return, Wiggate is resolved, and more drama unfolds. It's season 11 of RuPaul's Drag Race. Oh, and Jay's back. Stay tuned. You gotta love live podcasting. Welcome to AfterBuzz TV's weekly recap of RuPaul's Drag Race Season 11, Episode 11. I am Mark J Freeman, here joined by a gaggle of gays.
I like that. A gaggle.
A gaggle of gays.
That sounds fun.
This one next to me, you guys might recognize from a couple seasons ago. Mr. J. Ellis is back in the house.
Excited. Yes. Hi, everybody.
The wonderful, lovely, shaken, not stirred, but on the rocks, Jayla Roxx.
It's me. If you didn't hear me, y'all listening too slow.
And my baby girl, Ollie, Stella's here. She brought me flowers. Look how beautiful.
I'm telling you, she bought those herself, God damn it. And I can still see the receipt on it, too. She's going to take those back.
Happy Mother's Day to everybody.
Yes,
I don't know if we have any
Mother's
moms
Day.
that watch. I do know one, a friend of mine. She does watch the show. Before we get into everything, Jay, why don't you tell everybody what's been going on in your life? Where have you been?
I've been very busy, very lucky. I have been working a lot, traveling a lot, and it's like kind of things that I can't. It's like that stupid thing, like industry, where you're like, I've been busy, but I can't tell you anything about it. So,
right.
Well, I must
soon.
say, you look really good in HD.
You guys,
1080.
you guys are on 1080 now. This is a change for me, and I'm not excited about it.
The chat's blowing up. They're
Imagine
like,
how
Jay.
I feel, Jay Ellis.
Yeah.
I got about 20 years on you.
I also want to say I'm like so excited to talk to all the fans again. It's so excited to be here and to be with you guys. It's my first time with Jayla, so I'm super excited.
I know,
about
Jay
it.
and Jayla were here to take over.
That's where we put them in the middle.
Yeah.
This is going to be an interesting one for you to catch up on because this has been an episode. And make sure you guys stay tuned later because we were definitely going to talk a little bit about DragCon.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. We're going to go over a little bit of DragCon. I'll talk about my panel, so you want to stay tuned for that. Overall, thoughts of the episode. Here's your platform, ladies and gentlemen. What did you think? Ollie Dreamer.
I liked seeing the past queens return. Like, I missed like seeing Scarlett. I love Scarlett. Definitely someone who I thought went home too soon, and obviously that led to drama. I'm disappointed. I think this is a point where in a lot of the seasons where there is a really disappointing episode. Like this happened last season with Monet and Cracker leaving kind of soon, or not soon, but it just reminded me this is just like a reoccurring episode in a season, and it happened to be this episode with Nina, and we'll talk about it, but I like seeing the past queens.
Jayla, what do you think about, or like because we had in one episode the makeover and returning queens, two things that are kind of, people are always either they like it or they hate it. What did you think, Jayla?
I must say this. After watching every season of Drag Race, I have done my math. Episode 11 is always the haunted episode.
There you go.
There's always that one person who doesn't deserve to leave, always leaves on episode 11.
That's interesting.
It never fails.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
Somebody in the chat room, if you want to just go quickly run around all the past seasons
Get those
and
queens.
find out who left season 11 and send us a list, that'd be fantastic. Love you guys. Jay, what did you think?
They already know, I'm sure.
My
Right?
whole experience of this episode could be summed up in one word. Meh.
Meh.
This was sloppy. It was messy.
Yeah.
I wasn't excited about it.
Well,
I don't even want to talk about it. I'm leaving.
No, you gotta stay. You gotta stay.
Okay.
Before we get too hard into this, I said hard. Ollie Dreamer, tell everybody a little something about.
We love you all.
Well, besides.
And you guys make us the ESPN of TV talk. So what you could do for us, because we love you, give us that 5-star on iTunes. And if you do, we will shout you out. It'll be like possibly the fan of the week, right?
Possibly.
You'll be in the running for America's Next Top Fan of the Week. But yeah, keep on with the discussion. If you're joining us live, thank you so much. If not, that's totally fine. Give us slide into our DMs. Give us those comments. We really appreciate talking with you guys because you are just as much a part of the show as we are.
Yay!
Thank you.
Perfect. Just to catch everybody up, last week Sugar went home. Silky got a little bruised ego because of everything that happened, and Nina won the Magic Challenge. And she was on a high at the beginning of the episode, which should always be a foreshadowing that things aren't going to go your way. So the mini challenge was slap out of it. Roux is still in litigation over in allegedly slapping a queen last season. So she had each of them fake slap each other. They had to come up with a sassy line that makes the other queens fake slap the crap out of them. And then the queen with the most compelling reaction wins, is what she said.
Yeah.
Just want to point that out. I like to look into the details of what is being judged on. Do you think, that being said, do you think that Brooklyn had the most compelling reactions?
Triple Axel, if that helps her win. Yeah. Okay.
I thought Evie, actually. I thought Evie's reaction, because if we're judging on reactions, I thought Evie's reactions were the best.
She had the best comeback, the best, narrative.
Wait, I forget Brooklyn won this one?
Yeah.
The mini challenge.
Yeah.
I think what kind of took the fun out of this whole challenge was last season we had them slapping Roux, which is...
Roux slapping them.
That would never happen.
How dare. I'm going to have Roux after me for that, even that comment. And that took the fun out of it. I feel like Roux doing the slapping was more than half the fun.
I enjoyed it. But it was because it's one of my favorite challenges. It came out of the blue, and I think that we get to see more comedic value from Roux. But now with them doing it to each other, I think Roux is really, 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 and Jackie's not here, so I'm serving pure dick soup for her today. So I feel like Roux definitely was like, how can I get these girls to hate each other as much as possible so I can get my little gold Emmy, I got to keep the streak going. So that's kind of what this was about.
What I kept thinking was, where were these reads when they were doing the reading challenge? Because I thought so many of them were so much better than what they did in the reading challenge. So I thought that was interesting, that not having the pressure of having the reading, they seemed to be able to read each other better.
But I obviously would prefer them to read Roux for sure.
Right. Yeah.
But Roux's just
fun.
trying not to be in any hot water.
Yeah. I understand it. I understand it. So after winning, Brooklyn, got to... so the returning queens came back. That was kind of the thing for the makeover. They had to make over the returning queens. It was Scarlett, Soju, Plastique, Suga, Honey, and Ariel. There was thank you to the Drag Jesuses for not bringing back Raja.
But I'm saying, what happened to them?
I don't know.
Raja
and Mercedes were the two that did not come back. And Kahana,
Mercedes.
too. I forgot about Kahana.
Yeah.
I miss Mercedes,
I think that probably says it all.
Yeah. I feel like, besides Kahana, I feel like the other two had already had their, on-camera moments, but I feel like Kahana could have been switched out for maybe Soju.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
Yeah. But I still want to see Opulence.
Yes. I just thought it was interesting that there weren't all of them, that it was just some of them. So I don't know the story behind all that. But.
I do want to know, though. So if you guys know Reddit, any of you Reddit readers, let us know in the comments.
I wonder if they're salty they weren't chosen.
I do have a little theory about it.
Let's hear it.
I feel like they were actually going to swap out or let somebody back into the competition, but they did that double save with Evie and Brooke, so they weren't able to, they were at capacity for the episode count. But I feel like one of those queens that they brought back may potentially have been back into the competition if they had the episode count.
I'll say this, because I think everybody likes to see them come back. So I liked the challenge and that it was set up front. You're not coming back, but we're going to have you back to make over. I actually like that.
It was an ADR. I think Roux was like, you're not coming back.
Yeah. Because I do think people enjoy seeing them back. Obviously they go to see them in the clubs and stuff too when they want to see them. But I thought it was a nice little homage to that.
Right.
Then the challenge was to make over the returning queens and make them look like a member of your drag family. I underlined that in my notes because I think that's key to this elimination. To ensure that the returning queens couldn't help, they had to put on the pink mittens. So they couldn't help do their own makeup
I
and
didn't
stuff.
get that. I guess it's cute.
Yeah, it was just something.
Okay.
Big pink mittens.
Like as if you could be like, I just can't not touch my face.
Yeah, okay. We'll get it.
It's better than handcuffing them. Roux was going to handcuff them, but no. You got to look cute.
Oh, interesting. Interesting choice. So the pairings were Nina, and Brooklyn did the pairings. That was her reward for winning the mini challenge. So she paired Nina and Suga, Akira and Honey, Vanjie and Ariel. She picked Plastique for herself, Silky and Soju, and Evie and Scarlett. Fair? Or do you think she was trying to stir things up?
Jayla?
To be honest, based off of the chemistry and what they've all gave this whole season, I don't think it really mattered. I guess they were trying to make it oh, that's shady, but I mean, look at the statistics. I mean, Evie and Scarlett, they won a challenge together, so that was great. And I feel like a lot of it had to do with they knew this beforehand, because ain't no way in hell they just all have costumes that match each other's measurements and all these things.
Well, some of them make them. Like Silky, I know she said she made everything. So
that day?
Yeah.
Did we see her? Did we see her?
No, but I mean, that's what she said. She said that on the runway. But I don't know. I mean, they definitely are going to pack matching things. You know, it's on the list. You're going to have to, do whatever. I will just defend Brooklyn in a little bit, because I do think she was trying to do her best to make it fair. I, again, don't necessarily agree with that. I think that you should be playing the game from start to finish.
Right.
And I think you give yourself who you think you would do the best with, and then you screw everybody over.
But is that the narrative? Is that what reflects America's Next Drag Superstars? To be a shady bitch and then like, oh, I want to help out myself? Or is it more like, we're here to showcase talent, art, creativity?
But here's,
that's like All-Stars,
but here's my thing.
Well, girl, you should have won the first time.
That's the whole premise of All-Stars.
You should have won the first time.
But here's my thing. I do think, though, like, I hate that, like, when Silky was getting, like, kind of wah-wah that she got Soju. Here's my thing. Like, if you look at the past makeover challenges, it's usually the people that have the biggest transformation that win. So it's to your advantage to have somebody that you may not think looks good in drag or look good out of drag, because then you can do this magic and make them beautiful. So who's to say that giving them somebody that's not themselves isn't necessarily an advantage?
I think the pairings were really spot on too. Like Suga and Nina was really cool to see. The Davenports were together. Plastique, obviously she picked Plastique.
I mean, if you didn't give Soju to Silky, who would you have given to Silky?
Exactly.
To be fair?
I think those two just really got unlucky because they have totally two different drag aesthetics. So I think, and I feel like Silky runs this game of kind of being like, I'm the baddest bitch. Like, I could do anything. And like, I really wanted her to, like, if you're the baddest bitch, then be the baddest bitch and make over Soju and do your thing. And
I agree.
As soon as she was paired with Soju, she was not having it. And
and I don't
that
think
was
it was
the deal breaker. That was she was salty because Soju went home first.
Yeah.
And no, you should do the best you can. And
that's how I feel.
Make her over.
Because I feel like Soju wasn't a bad choice. She's obviously there for a reason.
Yeah.
But I guess storyline wise, the whole cyst came back up, and it's just like, okay, she's the girl, she's the crazy person. Let's put her with Silky.
Yeah, but but that being said, too, when Roux came around and talked to Silky, Silky, whether she meant it or not, she said, this is kind of a redemption for us. She got eliminated first. I have myself to prove. I just wish she meant that.
Right.
Because it didn't come off that way. I don't think that I also don't, we'll get into it later, but I don't think that her padding looked that bad. I didn't see what everybody else saw. Maybe you saw it in 4K. But
I did. I didn't see it. I saw the tights and they were ripped.
Oh, okay. So I don't know. There was speaking of Soju and her heels. There was not just her system, the fact that she doesn't really wear heels. I'll defend Soju a little bit in that there are a lot of queens that don't wear high heels.
No. Are they queens that don't perform? Are these like queens that you see on
like
Instagram or YouTube?
Or,
yeah, because if they don't have to walk in heels, if you're applying for this show, work on that.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely. I'm not saying that she shouldn't, but I'm going to say if you go to drag shows and you watch, like, trust me, they're all not wearing 6-inch heels every number. You know what I mean?
But I mean, like, for a person who wears heels like myself, like, I don't have tendinitis, but I have corns and green beans and yams on my feet. So sometimes, a little jelly biscuit is okay.
Right.
But
down there.
I'll tell you after the show.
Okay.
But I feel like I can relate to her, but I guess, I don't know, Soju made it like, oh, girl, I don't do that. And I feel like that's what a lot of girls do on the show.
Yeah.
I don't sew. I don't lip sync. I don't sing. I don't do drag. You know what I'm saying? So, I don't know.
And Silky did say something in her confessional where she's like, we're supposed to have experienced drag
right.
queens. And it's like, that's a very valid point.
Yeah, I agree. So the other thing I thought was funny in the workroom was Scarlett. Everyone, I think it was Nina said, "Hide your mirrors."
I enjoy Scarlett's crazy.
She's funny. And I just think it was interesting too with how tongue-tied Silky got with Roux. I just thought that was an interesting moment.
It was cringy to watch. I was like, she was just pulling stuff out her ass. Like, I don't know what to say, but I'm going to be Silky.
Yeah.
And I think she knew at that moment that she was going to be in the bottom.
But Ru's also been so charmed by Silky this whole time, whether it be like a workroom visit or on the main stage. And I think Silky was like, why aren't my tricks working? Why aren't you like so charmed by this time?
Right.
So Silky's like, oh, I got to work. I actually have to do something this time.
Right.
Like it just wasn't working for Roux this time around.
And I think a lot, again, I think that the nature of the beast of being a drag queen is overconfidence.
Yeah.
I have pictures to prove it. That I think that if she wasn't in those confessionals saying how she could beat a mug and how she can do all this, I don't think we would be judging her as much as we are. It's
that
because
goes back to Raja too.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm a dancer for 15 years.
Right, absolutely.
And it comes down for her dances. She can get the choreography.
Right. I agree. I agree 100%. I'm just pointing it out. It's my job. So the category on the runway is Drag Family Values. Guest judges were Wanda Sykes and Lena Waithe.
Yes.
And also Michelle and Ross.
The gayest panel
Very gay.
on earth
That
right
is
now.
a very gay panel.
Oh, just a shout out. Jackie B's in the house in the live comments.
1, 2, 3, Jackie B.
Jackie B said hi, guys.
Maria.
We're tuning in twice now.
Maria's in the chat too.
Not once, not twice.
What did we think of Rue's look?
Oh, let me get my glasses.
I think it was great. I love the monochromatic look from her. It's just very I don't know. She reminds me of. I'm not gonna say Shrek 2 this time. She reminds me of the.
So why didn't Roux dress up like this for the Met Gala?
Right?
She wasn't paid.
Well, she said she doesn't do drag unless she's paid, and she's too busy to watch anything like that, so she don't know.
All right. Well, she is
Interesting.
doing UK. Isn't she doing Drag UK right now? I don't know.
They're done taping.
Off
UK.
topic. Sorry.
Oh, okay.
I do like this look though.
I do.
I like
think-
the shimmer. I haven't seen that.
I've said it every episode. I think this is the best she's ever looked. This season, I think that's the best
Really?
Rue's ever looked. And
Okay.
somebody did a compilation for Mother's Day of all of her runways from this season, and it was just
that's
such a nice reminder of. I just think she's been knocking it out of the ballpark.
She's been great.
All right, so then the runway sequence. So then first up was Evie and Scarlett.
Mm-hmm.
We do have a photo of Evie and
picture.
Scarlett. What did we think of Evie and Scarlett?
At the car wash.
No,
At the car wash, yeah.
Do you like it, Ollie?
I do.
I do
don't think
too.
it was the best, middle of the pack, but I like seeing something different. This is totally up Evie's alley, and I like seeing Scarlett in this kind of not distressed, kind of jellyfish car wash looking thing.
At the car wash.
Very Shark
honey.
Tale, but I enjoyed it. It wasn't the best, like I said, but I like the movement of the fringed denim. It was fun.
I get the story too, where it's like her first dress that she made was to Scarlett, and then like an evolved state of that. It kind of reminded me of something I would have seen in Fifth Element. You know, like the
alien.
I wish it had a
queen.
little. Yeah, I wish that it had a little bit more shape on both of them, just to kind of give them a figure. Because I really like the headdress is a little bit like India Ari or something.
Yeah.
I don't know. I really like the idea, but I feel like there's just something that could have pulled it together a little bit more. So I think what you said, middle of the pack for me.
Yeah.
I really liked it. I mean, I like Evie, so it's gonna take a lot for me to be disappointed.
So we're gonna say yes to denim fringe and no silhouette. Okay.
I don't know. I like
Okay.
I like something outside the box. I like that it wasn't just two matching gowns. You know what I mean? Like there was something more to it. I like that the wigs were the denim. I like, you know what I mean? I don't know. It just for me, it's what I like. And then I liked how they presented it. I loved the screaming at each other.
Yeah.
The Evie
The
laugh.
I just really enjoyed Scarlett looking in Evie's like family resemblance. I enjoyed that the most.
And Scarlett showed what it's like to come back is you're back to lift up the person that you're paired up with. And I think that she did that. Even when her reaction to Evie being safe, when she got so excited, you could tell that she was there to lift her up and support her. Next up was Nina West and Sugar Cane in the LGBT flag and the trans flag.
I must say, Nina's outfit was a full conversation online within itself. Fan theory, this is maybe the reason why she was sent home, allegedly. Do we care to talk
go ahead.
about that?
Yeah.
let's talk
Take it
about
away.
There was an article that came out of asking Roux about Drag Race and the future of Drag Race and if they were allowed to let if he was eventually going to let transgender people compete for the show. And the answer was no. And like, I guess he was saying like it wouldn't be a fair advantage in some way, or the show is based off of transformation, which I agree on. You know, that's fine. So they said after the article was published, Nina brought these outfits in a way to say, you know, she made a statement like, if we bring one down, we bring everybody down.
Got it.
So she was bringing this to say, you know what, trans people do belong on the stage, and we do see you, and we do have visibility. So the message was there. The costume wasn't really there, but I feel like it was I feel like it was Roux feeling like it was a slap in the face
I see.
to what the show was about. And
that's a really believable theory, honestly.
Yeah.
Well, based off of like facts, we have Sonique, who had a bad experience. She was never asked back for drug. So I think she wasn't asked to be a part of anything. And then Carmen Carrera also was the reason why they changed the "you got she-male" to, you know, because she felt that was offensive. So a lot of these people have like detrimented the RuPaul's Drag Race brand, and RuPaul being the person that pitched the show for 10 years before. The show was pitched in the 90s, before we could pick it up and say, yes, we want this on TV. So I think Roux feels like he's protecting what he built and don't want the contestants to bite the hand that feeds them.
Got it.
So showing them a lesson like, you know what, try a bitch if you want to, but I got the bigger end of the story, and we're going to see how it goes.
I'm proud of Nina if that's the reason like, she was just like, you know what, here's my platform.
Well, if you know Nina, it is 100% her platform.
Right.
She has done, I mean, I can't even tell you how much she's done for Columbus and the gay community. I mean, it is kind of her thing. If you didn't watch her What You Packin', she talks a little bit about it and her drag family and stuff.
Saying that I don't like the outfits, though.
Yeah. If I need to go back and read it, I'll read what the challenge was to make them look like family. So, and I get that this was what she was saying. This is my family.
Yeah.
This is what we do. So that's what the story I was telling.
Especially since trans lives are often forgotten in the gay community. So I think that was a really important message to send from Nina, that no, trans are just as much valuable as gay, bi.
Yeah.
You know, so they are a family, and I do really appreciate that message.
Yeah.
Besides the costuming, I want to say that it really made me appreciate what Sugar was doing to her own face throughout the competition, because Nina painting Sugar didn't really do Sugar's face that much justice as what we've seen Sugar do for herself. I know Nina was trying her best, but I think there was just a disconnect between these two outfits and costumes.
This is what I said at work. I was like, I liked it. I just wanted there to be like I wanted them to somehow like come together and connect. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I wanted there to be some kind of, I can think if it would have done something phenomenal
but
and
had
really
it been like a color scheme, like instead of having one be the rainbow, one be the trans flag, let it be the full thing, including the pink and the blue, and let that be the color scheme. And then both have costumes that way, so it wasn't look like a division.
Yeah, I think it would have. I mean,
because then again, this also shows division in our community. Like this is LGBT, but this is also
something,
you know what I'm saying?
Something to bridge them. That makes sense.
Imagine if they like came together and it made that like trans flag or something
like all together, like a gradient. Then
that'd
but this still shows divisibility. Is that a word?
Division.
Segregation.
We're gonna use divisibility.
That is a word.
That is the word, though. So we're gonna show divisibility in this.
Hold on.
Next up were the Davenports, Akira C. Davenport and Honey Davenport in their Southern elegance, we'll call it.
I've seen this wig.
Oh, thank you. That's Ariel's wig. Return it.
Akira's worn that wig so much.
It's been rolling through that workroom, and she's been throwing it on her head. This is the best honey look.
Hang on, pause. Last season, Cracker did the same thing, and Plastique did the same thing this season, so we're not going to give her too much about these wigs.
And it's fine, because I wish it was just styled, maybe done differently or something. Like, I don't know how really wigs, I'm not a wig person, so can't you style it a little bit different so that we get a different shape or look? Just so, I mean, use the same thing.
If it's synthetic, then you can style it anyway.
Okay.
But
they do have a very cohesive set here. I feel like they are from the same family. And I think Akira did a great job at making that happen. It is very pageant, but I think Honey looks great, and I think that was the challenge.
Yeah, I agree. This was very middle of the pack for me.
Okay.
Very middle.
Nothing exciting.
No, nothing exciting. Nothing.
It was good. It's a good look, but it's not.
Box.
Yeah, nothing inspiring.
Next is Silky Nutmeg Ganache and Soju in their disco realness. I think the funniest part was when Roux said, "Remember when Nell Carter was on the Cher Show?"
Oh gosh.
I think this is a great look for both of them. It's very body positive for them both. one thing I did notice during the runway, they kept like trying to edit it out. Silky's little shawl on her butt kept falling off, and I was just like, oh,
Yeah.
girl.
Yeah. And which did fall off during the lip sync, but.
Okay.
I wish that there was like a cohesion with the bell-bottom part, or the pants from Soju. I wish that had like a bell-bottom sleeve from Silky, just so that there
She
was like...
did. That's what she said.
Oh, is that what...
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
she said they had bell bottoms.
She had bell-bottom pants, she had bell sleeves. Yeah.
Yikes, I forgot already.
Yeah.
Okay, well, it didn't work for me.
Shade.
then.
It was okay.
Meh.
It was meh.
Okay.
I thought it was just a little too costumey for me.
It deserved the bottom too, I'll say that.
Yeah.
No, totally.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
But I don't like the tumble wigs.
No.
No.
Okay.
Next, Ms. Vanessa Benji Matteo and Ariel Versace Matteo.
One of my favorites.
Yeah.
It was my favorite.
Mine too, I think.
I don't take back what I said about Vanjie's runway.
Yeah.
It's still, like I said, it doesn't fit the brand for her. It looks like somebody designed it very beautifully and she's wearing it. The red, it comes back again, so they didn't read her for wearing red again.
Oh, that's right.
This is her 7th time.
Wow. I didn't even think of that.
You know, so, okay. Ariel, I feel, looked great. This is a new look for her because she's always wearing like the, you know,
Big giant wigs.
yeah,
and that's like what she does.
I'm
what she's
cotton
known
candy
for.
princess.
Right.
I'm iridescent. This shows like versatility, so good for her.
I think that this is definitely like Vanjie's like silhouette in terms of like a wig. I think this, when I think of Vanjie, I see her in this wig. So it was cool to have her wear this wig and have Ariel wear a similar type of wig. But yeah, from like a producer standpoint, I wanted Vanjie to win actually. And you know, I've been reading Vanjie and her looks this season.
Yeah.
But I definitely think this would have solidified her maybe being in the top 5 more. And it would have been a nice story. It would have been a Vanjie episode.
We
finally.
need a Vanjie episode, but like I told you, fan theory.
We needed
She's going to be one of those people that have the final twist in the end. I'm calling it right now.
Oh my gosh. That
Vanjie-
would be crazy.
She checked all the marks for me for this challenge. Like, she had the cohesion where if I was at a bar and I saw Vanjie on one side, Ariel on the other, I'd be like, oh, they're somehow related.
Yeah.
They're from the same family. So I think that it checks that for me. The costumes itself, it's not identical like what Akira basically did or Brooklyn did, but there's a similarity to it. And then the makeup on Ariel, when they first walked out, I was like, which one is Van? Like, it took me a second to
I agree.
And so Vanjie stepped up. I think she was the clear winner for this challenge. The one nitpick I can make is that there's a part where Ariel has her arm out and you can see the nude illusion thing is a little wrinkled. Like, it wasn't tailored real right to her arm, but it's such a tiny little
There's
thing.
the J. Ellis I remember.
The details.
I really loved it. I loved that she did pants, and it was similar to enough to the other one. I agree. I thought that Ariel, looked better. You can tell that she really wanted to do well and kind of prove herself. She got emotional on the runway when they even said it to her. So kudos to you, Van.
And they had the jackets too. Did we
and
talk about that?
The jacket reveal
It
at
was
the
a
beginning.
moment. Like,
Yes.
yeah, it opened a story up a little bit.
Yeah. And then last but not least, Brooklyn Heights and Plastique Tiara, or Harlem Heights, as she called. Is that what she said, Harlem Heights? Yeah.
Not a resemblance. It's
No,
cute.
yeah.
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
It's gorgeous. It's
Linda
expensive.
Evangelista.
Yeah.
It's Linda Evangelista.
Yeah.
Not a resemblance.
I just, and I'm gonna get in trouble, but I just, like, when they went in close to Brooklyn's face, I just kind of went, is her makeup really that good?
It's clean.
I mean,
think
it's
it
clean,
looks
but
the
it's just
same.
not, I think it's, I don't know,
looks
like,
the
now
same.
I'm actually
I've worked with
surprised.
Brooklyn Heights before a few times, and her makeup is like she spends enough time in the mirror to make sure it's done.
I don't know. I just had a moment where I went, no one said anything about that yet. And I just didn't see it as, like, sometimes they get close and you're just like, wow, that looks really amazing. And I just didn't have that moment with it. And Plastique, I mean, she's, young, pretty boy. So it's not hard
about
to,
bringing
you know
up
what I
her-
mean? Like,
No,
it's
bringing
not
up-
hard to,
Yeah.
You bring up her makeup. I noticed maybe her makeup just looks the same all the time. I
That
think
could be.
a lot of the
Expecting
queens
it, yeah.
switch it up. So I
Yeah.
think maybe I'm bored with her makeup.
That could
I
be.
was like talking about maybe it's her blonde hair all the time. I don't know, but it's beautiful. I love the story more so than the actual
right.
transformation.
Agreed.
The
Yeah, I like the
family
walk and the
resemblance.
cross.
The
Like it was
performance.
really nice, but
Yeah.
I resonated more towards Vanjie because to me that was more family. This more was too story based, I
Yeah.
think, and not family. It was more so.
Because if you have to explain your outfit, we
yeah.
say that all the time.
Right,
If you have
exactly.
to explain it, then we're good.
Right.
This also, I mean, this is kind of what I was saying. What I liked about Vanjie is that they had a separate outfit, but similarities. This is the exact same outfit, just like
In different
where they
color.
split.
Yeah.
And I mean, Shay did this on her season, but I resonate more with the ones like Sasha, who tells a story like they were the traveling sisters, and there's like they have the same idea. This one, I don't know. I don't want to take the win away from Brooklyn, but it's just when she walked out, it's like you said, I wasn't excited to see it. It's with Chad Michaels too. Like this is the critique that they said. Like I want an edge there, and it's just so polished that it's like boring.
It's so funny because I literally just said the other day at work to my coworker,
to me,
I was like, and was it to you that I felt like Brooklyn reminded me a lot of Chad Michaels because it's it's like it's not bad, but I'm just like. I don't know. Again, not to take the win away, but whatevs.
Yeah.
So you guys, this is when we rate the queens. So this is when you should rate us. Go to iTunes, give us 5 stars, become fan of the week. All right, I got that in. All right, so everyone was judged on the runway. Our top 3 were Akira, Vanessa, Benji, Matteo, and Brooklyn, and the bottom 3 were Evie, Nina, and Silky. And then to top it off, they were asked by Roux who should go home. I'll read first real quick who voted for who.
Okay.
So the votes for Silky were Evie, Scarlett, Ariel, Brooklyn, Honey, Plastique, and Sugar. The votes for Evie were Nina, Silky, Akira, Vanjie, and Soju. So, what okay, let me just say this real quick. Because I think when Roux asked, because everyone was saying because everybody said Silky and Evie that they should have been in the bottom. We all know that this is RuPaul's Drag Race and RuPaul's going to make her own decision. Yeah. So by no means did I think because they were saying Evie that would mean that she would be in the bottom.
Yeah, that never happens.
No. Never. I think it rarely happens that the people that they say are. And I think that, again, I think Roux is aware when there's rivalry between people and when they're picking somebody because they just don't get along. Because 3 of the 5 people that voted for Evie were the Dream Girls who don't like
Alliance.
Evie.
I feel like this is like Big Brother Drag Race.
Soju couldn't say Silky. She couldn't say it because she was her partner. She couldn't say it. Nina was the surprise. But
I think Roux,
go ahead. Sorry.
No, I just think Roux wanted this to be a really good Untucked episode by also asking the past queens who aren't even competing who should go home.
Yeah,
made for great television for sure. But it was very interesting knowing that the person who went home wasn't even mentioned, which was Nina.
Right.
I told you episode 11 is always haunted, so you always think it's something.
It's hard too because to answer that question, I mean, there's people like Nina and Brooke who take it so like to heart where they're like, I don't want to say anybody, but I know that if you're standing on the stage in front of the judges and if you give a non-answer, they're like, no, tell me. I'm sure that they just like try to break you down. So to have that question asked and then to not, I mean, I would always say based on the critiques that you guys had, and to be fair, Silky had the roughest critiques, so there's like your answer right there. And for the Dream Girls to point out Evie just because they don't like her, it's like that. What you're not seeing is Tyra Sanchez is a complete bitch. Like it reminds me of that.
And you know, because even I'm gonna get into this a little bit because Akira I feel like she's kind of sliding under the radar because she keeps saying she's clearing the air, but she's always the one that's stirring the pot.
Yeah, that's what that means. That's what clearing the air means.
But it's like, I don't know why she's getting such a pass because I think she stirred things up just as much as Silky and Evie have.
But
you know,
not
she's just doing it
to Roux's satisfaction.
Right. Oh no, I know what you're saying, but I just want to point it out because she's the one, and then she even said to Evie, you know, I was really being truthful. No, because if you were really being truthful, then you would have picked your sister. And as hard as it is to say, you know, and you could have said, as hard as this is for me to say, but if I'm going by what you guys just said, I have to pick Silky.
Yeah.
Plain and simple. It's that simple. And if Silky can't understand it coming from somebody who she calls a good friend, then Silky has the issue.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And it is tough because at the like the cold open of the show, Silky's talking about how it took her down a notch by getting read about her pads and stuff, and then to really not even step it up and really make your drag this fantastic display. Like if you're gonna have those like that leotard that she was wearing, make those pads right and like really prove like, look, I listened to your guys' like criticism like Nina did where she started to proportionize.
They had the hips,
and then just really show the judges that you knew what they were saying and you made that adjustment.
Mm-hmm. Somebody in the chat room even said, and I thought the same thing, Evie's face when Silky kind of slams her and says that she's just not a nice person. It completely broke my heart because again, that's that moment where this isn't this isn't about what's happening on this stage. This is about what's going on backstage. Yeah. And I think that was totally uncalled for. So.
No, I hope that they, since then, a year after.
Right. I think things have changed dramatically.
We'll find out on the reunion.
Reunion.
All those things,
Absolutely. So then we get.
This is so sad.
I think it's so funny because this season we had what people are saying it might have been one of the all-time best lip syncs for your life, to be followed by TLC's No Scrubs. Nina Silky version. I think they should do a remake of it and sell lots of copies.
They also didn't. Sorry, I just have to say this. They did not do the version with Left Eye. You
Right.
can't
They
just
never
have that
do the version with Left
Why
Eye.
not?
No,
I
that's like the
know.
radio edit or something.
Come
it's the
on,
radio
that's
version.
not fair.
This is one of my favorite songs, and when I heard that I was like, here we go. And then afterwards I was like, oh no. How dare you all?
I mean, here's what I'm going to say. And again, I love Nina. I have nothing against her. I know that there's this whole thing about her being robbed and this and that, and I'm not disagreeing with the people that are saying that. But I will say, when I went back and watched it, the first time I was like, I actually thought we're gonna might have a double elimination.
Yeah.
Just from the pause from RuPaul, I was like, oh shit, something's happening.
Yeah.
I did, watching it back, I went, okay, I guess Silky was a smidge better.
No.
I did have that, like, after I got over the shock of the disaster, when I went back and watched, I don't know, there were...
Mark.
I know, I don't know, that was just...
They were both horrible.
I'm not saying they weren't, but I just go back and watch it again because I think there were disastrous things in it, but...
Well, all I want to know is who the F stole Ariel's wig.
Well, funny
where
you
are
should
they?
ask. That
I'm
is
looking-
our mirror moment today. What a wonderful lead-in. Yeah, so that was a big drama. Yes, there's our mirror.
You think Silky did better?
A little bit.
still-
A smidge. I mean, like a
They
baby
both shoulda
smidge.
went
You're
A baby
tuned
smidge.
into
A baby smidge. So Ariel's wig was a subject of drama several episodes ago when she went home. And that kind of all came out in the workroom as they were preparing, that her wigs were not left intentionally. They were left actually
On
accidentally.
accidents.
And again, Akira's the one who brought it up and stirred it up,
Clear
even
the
though
air.
that it was...
But okay, Ariel, if you're gonna don't be all bark and no bite.
Yeah.
She didn't.
Yeah.
She didn't come on. She was talking all this smack, and she didn't even. I don't understand why she didn't stand up for herself. Or if you're gonna say something, then say it. You're being filmed.
Yeah.
Those cameras aren't rolling. Then I really didn't. I wasn't here for Ariel in this episode.
You could tell she was telling all the former contestants, like, I'm going to go in there and just start it up. And then it felt like you were being edged, and you're like, oh,
No.
there's no release of, like, this.
Carrie
whole
was like,
thing.
I'm gonna stir it up. Give me that dick soup.
Yeah.
It was disappointing.
Well, where are the wigs, girl? Well, is that why Raja, Mercedes, and Kahana didn't come?
They asked Raja to come back. She's
Girl.
like, no, thanks, I got my
They
wig.
didn't want to bring the wigs back.
Yeah.
That's right.
Bring those wigs back, girl.
We'll find out. Jayla, we're gonna find out at the reunion.
That's
Who
right.
stole the wigs?
That's right. All right. So that's pretty much the drama. Anybody have anything else that they want that they're like they need to get off their chest about
think,
this episode?
You know what would have made me gag?
What?
If Roux would have asked Nina and Silky to lip sync again. That would have been amazing.
Yeah.
Do it again.
I would have liked that. Just
That
to
would've
give,
been-
like she should. And I'm glad she said meh instead of just saying Silky, you're the winner, because I want Silky to know that was
Yeah,
not
not
a lip sync
good.
that was good.
That
Because
was-
you know Silky would have been like, I knew I could bring it out. And you're like, no, girl.
You
Like,
just
she told you meh.
Beat by. Right.
Yeah. And
right.
Nina did better. That is
Well,
my last thing.
I'm interested in seeing like what we're going to do for this final challenge before the finale. What song are they going to do?
I know.
Well, because Roux just released a new album.
Right.
This is the 12th, 9th.
Damn.
A lot.
She
There were a
has
lot.
Bad
I
Bunny.
went on iTunes the other day to look and see, and
There's
there
like
were
2 or
so
3
many.
songs.
I was like, oh.
Yeah, it's like CoverGirl, the holiday edition.
Right, yeah,
CoverGirl, the
somewhere.
Spanish. The gospel,
Right. All right, so let's get into our segments. First segment will be my quote of the week, which I thought was, I think it's pretty straightforward. Meh.
Yeah, I think that's the
I think
theme
that
of this
spoke
week's episode.
the episode. I think that That said it all.
Yeah.
Fan of the week, I'm going to read here from iTunes as a 5-star rating from 77 Matteo, who wrote, I love you guys. Ollie, pay attention here because there's a little message in here. It says, I don't normally listen to the podcast because I like to watch it uploaded to YouTube. However, I wanted to come here and give y'all 5 stars for being great review of the show. That was very sweet.
You.
I love that there's a group of people so we can get so many different perspectives. And I love that you all shout out local queens. I want to shout out one of my favorite local queens in the DC area, India Laurel Houston. She puts on an amazing show. Look her up, Ollie.
Okay.
I also want to shout out one of my favorite queens ever, Fantasia Royale Gaga from Miami.
I know her. I've known her for 5 years. I think we talked about that last week.
Yeah, she says, if you're ever in Miami, stop by Palace or our house for an amazing show. So 77 Matteo is our fan of the week. Right. Next up is Miss Jayla's meme of the week.
Now, thank you guys so much for sending me all of these memes this week. Now, they all kind of end up being the same. So we're going to keep on topic of the meh. Okay. And this goes back to then when Silky said, if I had to lip sync for my life, bitch, I was ready. And then we get to this part. This past episode, and in Rue's words, meh. Mm-hmm. So, Silky, step it up, girl, or you're going to be getting a sweeter head.
Right? Absolutely. And next, Ollie's Queen's Corner. Why don't you tell us about your local queen?
My local queen is not meh. My local queen hit me up today, actually. Okay. Fiora Kin. That's a play on foreskin.
Wait, say it again?
Fiora Kin. Foreskin. And I think I actually saw her in the chat recently.
That's why y'all supposed to go to commercial break.
Go to commercial!
Yes, she is, I really love her makeup. She is a club kid. She even says that on her Instagram. So go follow her, show her some love. We really appreciate you.
Do we have her Instagram?
Fiora_Kin.
Okay.
But yeah, she was a fan of us. She's from Indiana, and she loves our commentary.
I like the club kid look.
It's
very James St. James Lee Bowery look.
Season 9 Peppermint. Love it.
Real quick before we go, let's do a little quick news and gossip because tomorrow there'll be the filming of the finale filming here in LA. So.
Are you going? Or is somebody going?
I don't know. I'm still waiting to find out.
I'm sweeping.
As of right now, no.
I'm going to be sweeping the confetti after.
I can't imagine they're going to email me between now and tomorrow and come on down. So, whatever.
Okay.
But then also coming up, May 24th, 25th, 26th is DragCon in LA. If you haven't got your tickets, get them. Ollie and I will be there doing press. Mm-hmm. I finally got my day and time for my panel, which will be the Sunday at 1 o'clock. Will be my reality show panel with Jonathan Bennett, Demi Burnett, Marissa Winokur, Joey Graceffa, and Mark I can never say his name. I'm going to have to practice before I get there. From So You Think You Can Dance. Dance for Gaga. It's a great panel. I'm excited to do it. So that's our news and gossip. Who do we think will be top 4 on the way out? Let's say
everyone but Vanjie.
Same.
Yeah.
Vanjie's out next week.
Who's all left?
Vanjie,
everyone but
Vanjie could have been in the top if they gave her the win.
So we think Vanjie's going next.
Yeah. I want them to do the Brooke versus Vanjie. It's going to happen.
All right.
It has to happen.
Well, let's see. All right, you guys. That's it. We did it. Woo! We did it in time. Why don't we go around the table and tell everybody where you can find them on the social medias? Ollie?
I'm Ollie Drennan. Find me on all social media platforms at Ollie Dreamer.
And you can watch me flex it on the gram. Follow me at Who is Jayla Roxx with 2 X's, 3 if you nasty.
I'm so happy to be back, guys. Thanks for having me. On Instagram, you can find me at don't_be_jealous and Twitter at still_jealous.
Thank you for being here, Jay, and filling in for Miss Jackie Borowski. And you can find me on Instagram and Twitter at Lorraine Love, LORAYNE LOVE. See you all next week. Mwah!
Bye.
Our founder, Kevin Undergaro, and me, Maria Menounos, would like to thank you for tuning in to AfterBuzz TV. Remember, we're not just the first, we're the biggest in the world, and we're the only destination for all your favorite TV shows. Whatever you crave, we've got it. So go to AfterBuzzTV.com and check out our lineup. Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.